can you tell us a little bit more about your farm and how it's functioning?
So at the moment, I'm working on a specific project. So I created an NGO 2 years ago because my purpose is to say, okay, nowadays in France, at least we have we have multiple crises: a generational crisis, economical crisis, and farming land crisis. And we see a lot of new potential farmers who don't come from a farming background. I mean, they did not inherit from the family business, from the family farm. Maybe they had a degree, they went to the corporate world, and now they want to, I wouldn't say come back, but they want to come to the farming field. And those people, they don't have access to the land. And most of the time, they've had good revenue before. They've had holidays. They know what a weekend is with friends and so on. And once you step into the farming world, then all this disappears. So how do we make sure that those people are welcome in the farming world, in new types of farms, maybe cooperative and mutualist? And with my NGO, I'm trying to help one such large-scale farm, a 200 hectares farm in France, transition from conventional to agroecology, and also transition to one man on its tractor to several producers on the same plot of land, being able to feed the people around them. So with that farm, which is going to be our prototype, if I may say, we're going to study with lots of experts, scientists, and so on. We're going to study everything, all the legal issues, accounting issues, of course, farming and agronomical issues, and so on. And at the end of the day, and hopefully within 5 or 10 years' time, I don't know, we're going to have a frame with meta rules to tell the other farms, look, we've got rules here. You can, of course, not copy and paste because one farm is never like another, but you can get your inspiration from those rules and try also for you to transition from conventional to agroecology and to an individual farm to a cooperative farm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And one last question for you. What were the biggest barriers you faced when you tried to adopt sustainable soil practices?
Well, we at the Perrine farm, we adopted sustainable practices from day one. So there was no mental barrier in our minds because we knew nothing else. But we didn't have the knowledge. And at that time, imagine it was something like more than 20 years ago, nobody could really give us advice because nobody knew exactly how to do it. Organic farming was on, for sure, but whatever was named agroecology or farming with nature or like nature was unknown, at least in the farming universe. So we didn't have any barrier from that viewpoint, but we had so many others. We didn't know how to farm, we didn't know how to grow crops, so we had to learn from day one and make mistakes all along the way. And we've always had support from the mayor, from the city, from all the institutions, but we didn't know how to sell. And selling in a context where organic products were not searched really by the consumers was not so easy. And today, it is still a weak point for both organic and small-scale farmer, and shall I say for all farmers, actually. Selling is still a weak point. I mean, we don't know how to sell. All the intermediaries, they take a lot of money from us. And at the same time, they do whatever we cannot do, or we're not good at doing, or we don't have time to do. But still, it is a problem. So we have somehow to rebalance the system. We have to make sure that the farmers who work long hours, most of the time for a very low revenue, except when they are huge and they have cap subsidies and so on. But most of the time, they don't have much. Economy is always scarce, when you are a farmer. How do we rebalance the system so that it is fair? We need a fair share of all this part.